Hey everyone, this is Jeff of TAOFLEDERMAUS. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to look at the BRI Sabot bullets. Now these were invented and sold by a company in California called Ballistic Research Industries. Now these were invented in the early 60s and they didn't patent them until 1973. Now they sold these shells for hunting. They also sold them for law enforcement with a harder alloy projectile. And they were supposed to be able to penetrate a 1/4 inch of mild steel at 100 yards. They even sold them as a loading component without any powder or shells or anything, so you could load them to whatever specs you wanted them. Now the company was acquired by Winchester, and they kept the name BRI Sabot Slugs, even though BRI called them Sabot bullets, but they're basically the same thing. Now it's important to note that Winchester didn't send these to us. We don't have lucrative contracts like that, but I just happened to see these at Sportsman's Warehouse when I was buying some other slugs, and I said I gotta try these. The box was about $12.50 for a box of 5. Not cheap, but comparable with other Sabot slugs. And you'll notice that these have an effective range of 125 yards, which is not bad considering the slug only has a velocity of 1,350 feet per second. Now what really baffled me was Winchester made it very clear that these were designed for use in rifled choke tube or fully rifled barrels, and neither of those were really very common until recently. And the old BRI boxes clearly say designed for cylinder or improved cylinder bores. Nothing about rifling. Now wouldn't it be awesome if these worked out of a smoothbore shotgun? Think how many more boxes they would sell, you know? Let's try it.
Alright, welcome back to TAOFLEDER, folks. Danny and Jeff here today, and we've got some slugs here we want to try out. BRI, Ballistic Research Industries, sold by Winchester. It's a Sabot Slug. 1 ounce. Well, Jeff will give you the specs on it when on the tabletop there. But we're going to try them through. This is for rifled barrel and rifled chokes. So we're going to give it a full run. We're going to run it through the Benelli with a rifled choke. We're going to run it through the Mossberg 500 with a full rifled barrel. And we're going to try to prove them wrong. We're going to run one of them through a smoothbore and see if they'll fly. So let's see what they'll do downrange.
Okay, first shot through the Mossberg 500 full rifled barrel, about 16 yards away. Get an idea if we're sighted in or not with this shotgun, and see how it works out of a full rifled barrel. Okay, I'm ready whenever you are. Man, that's a lot of energy.
Not bad on the recoil.
Now this is all we found afterwards, after passing through the water jug and hitting the Kevlar. Now as you can see, it's a very busy round. There's a lot of stuff flying around. Sabots and gas seals and felt waddings, all kinds of stuff. Now as expected, the slug flew very straight, very true, and for the most part it was very accurate. So yeah, the slug will work perfectly fine through a full rifled shotgun.
Alright, now we're going to try the Benelli with just a rifle choke. See what this dude will do.
Where are you aiming on the lead plate?
Just to the right of that crater.
Okay, gotcha. I'm ready when you are. We found that gun does shoot to the left a little bit. No practice shots.
Point aim was here, so it wasn't too far off.
Okay.
But look inside of here. This is the cavity that was already here. This is the new one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Let's see here. Chunks of lead.
Didn't go all the way through or nothing.
It almost did. Look at that.
Well, I've got another lead plate that we could shoot with the smooth bore. At a little
piece.
Tony. Wow, look at that.
It's the base of it.
That is very interesting.
Just almost went through. It cracked it real good right there.
Yeah, that was pretty, that had a pretty deep cavity there. Not the best test, but he hit the plate with a rifle choke.
So through a rifle choke tube, the slug is stable in flight. It just shot a little bit to the left, which is normal since we're in California, right? Like every type of ammunition we shoot, they all have their own unique ballistic signature. So all you have to do is sight in the shotgun for that type of ammo and you'll be good.
We're going to try and try it through little Tony here and see if these things will fly through a smooth bore. I understand that originally these were for smooth bore.
Yeah, it was from a time in the 60s when they didn't really have rifled or rifled chokes, so they were designed for smooth bore shotguns.
Yeah, but now the box says rifle barrel or rifle choke.
Yeah, so this is what I really was interested in seeing.
We'll find out what they'll do downrange.
Some good shooting there. No rear sight.
Yeah, me and little Tony get along pretty good.
Yeah. That's a thinner plate, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I ran out of propane.
There's our backside.
Yeah.
Got a blue chunk.
Small profile slug, half inch in diameter.
But if you can see down inside there, there's kind of a skirt. And if you look at this side, this is actually part of the slug here.
That's wild.
Here's our plate, mushroomed out, and yeah, it's stuck in there pretty good. I'm not going to be able to pull it out by fingers, but that's part of our slug right there.
Right through that thing. It's about an inch thick. That's respectable there.
Now this is what I really wanted to see why I bought the ammo. As you can see, the slug is very stable without any spin stabilization. And as you probably know, shooting a copper solid Sabot slug just does not work out of a smoothbore shotgun. That slug just tumbles through the air.
Okay, we're at about 10 yards now. We're going to take another shot with the break action little Tony. Add a line of gel blocks. Maybe we could get some recover it and see what kind of expansion we have. But I also want to see, I want to see if this is stable out of this, the first shot wasn't just a fluke or anything like that. Woo!
Wow.
So I made it through all those gel blocks, allowing it to expand, and then exited out the back one and was caught in our vest. That's what it looks like after it hit gel. There's the base of it. They have a piece of plastic or something to fill in that hollow in the back.
There's the final exit wound here.
I like these slugs. They're not cheap. They're about $2.50 a piece, I believe, which is kind of comparable with a Sabot slug, I guess.
Jeff, you're supposed to leave the cat hair out of there.
But very impressive.
Recoil's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Little Tony doesn't have a pad on the butt, but no, that's not bad at all.
1 ounce slug at $13.50, considerably less than a 1 ounce slug at $16.50 or so.
And yes, again, out of a smoothbore shotgun, the slug is perfectly stable and pretty darn accurate. Considering that shotgun has no rear sights, you're just using a big old bead up front, that's not bad accuracy at all.
All right, we're gonna try this at 50 yards through full rifle barrel. We're using this one because of the optics. Makes it a little more precise, takes out a little bit of that human error. But still, let's see if we can hit it at 50 yards with these.
Yeah, if we had good sights on like even little Tony, I wouldn't feel, but you know, this is our last one. We want to make it count. We only had 5 of these shells, so just want to make it count. But I think these things are just as accurate with little Tony as they are with that. No problem. And these things are supposed to be accurate out to 125 yards plus, which is amazing for a slug.
This is Doris. Spoiled rotten. All right.
Is it getting hot?
My point of aim was here. I was trying to get this kind of a clear area, and we hit here. So those don't drop very much.
Yeah, very flat trajectory. Nice, that's the lead.
Chunks of lead. It's almost.
I like these slugs. I've seen them around. I didn't know much about them. You could definitely shoot them through a smoothbore. That's the important thing here.
Yeah.
Why they don't put that on the box and why they didn't test that is ridiculous, you know? I mean, you're missing out on sales to people with just, smooth bores.
Average person's gonna have a smooth bore or a modified choke. And, yeah.
Yeah, why not sell it to them? You know, it's like, hey, this is it's a universal slug, in other words.
And they claim to be for deer hunting, but, well, here in California.
Oh, yeah, there we go again.
These are lead. You got to be out of the condor zone. And come next year, it's all copper or non-lead.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if they made these out of brass or copper or bismuth or something, you know.
Something that anybody could hunt with.
Steel, they'd be awesome.
That's not too bad though.
I'm impressed. You know, I'm glad we were able to verify that they are a universal slug.
My point aim was here, so within a 4-inch circle.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
All right.
Now the slug has absolutely no problem with accuracy or even energy at 50 yards. We can go much further and get this kind of accuracy. The BRI Sabot Slug still weighs 1 ounce, but it has a much smaller profile than a Foster slug. And because of that smaller profile, it's just more aerodynamically efficient, has less drop, and has much further range than a traditional Foster slug. And honestly, I think that's worth the extra cost.